week town hall, so we'll have him weigh in on these questions too as he sees fit, because a lot of issues we share in those different areas of expertise and being on different committees. And so I'm going to have Rob, and again, Rob's going to read the question. If you want to, raise your hand just so I know who we're addressing, and also you'll have a minute to respond with another question or a follow-up or whatever. So.
All right, this question is from Monty Boris. Monty says, is there honestly no representative in Congress in the House who can take Boehner's position?
There's quite literally 435 members that can take Boehner's position at any moment. It's by a majority of those who would basically vote for whoever's name comes up. It doesn't, in fact, it doesn't even have to be a member of Congress at this point. And so, definitely, there's one thing to keep in mind as we go forward. Every one of us would, our dream would have Mark Meadows as Speaker of the House, or Jim Jordan, or
that'll make a headline.
Yeah, that would make headlines, especially now. But the reality is, when you look at the members of even the Republican conference that's in the majority of the core conservatives, I would guess we're at about 40-ish in the House Freedom Caucus, maybe 50 to 60 across the board, which is still a minority. It's a significant minority. But there are also, we have Republicans from districts that are Democrat districts. We have Republicans from districts that are barely a Republican district, and not every Republican is a conservative. And so when you look at it, and I'm not talking about philosophically, I'm talking about reality. It's going to be the majority of Republicans getting behind one candidate or another. And so yes, there is a number of candidates. Congressman Meadows and I were having this discussion over in my office earlier, naming out some that we would like to see and support in that position. So there is a number. Would you like to weigh in at all?
I probably, based on, some of you know, some of you may not know, that within the last few weeks, I put in a resolution to change leadership. I feel like the time has come. I say that it is not for the faint of heart. When you do that, I can assure you that it is something that came after much prayer, but really it came, in speaking to your question, is there anyone else that could do the job? And I think the frustration is not necessarily just with Speaker Boehner. I think the frustration is that there were a lot of campaign promises made, a lot of things that said, this is the way that we're going to do business. This is the way that the American people need to be represented. And what happened is that even the majority of the Republicans are saying, well, gosh, the leadership is not doing what they said that they would do. And that's a real frustration. And I'm speaking for myself, not for Barry here, because one of the tough things that you have is when you look at leadership, is that you have to take a stand. And for me, my stand, and I know Barry agrees with this, is with the American people. Now, I say that because what happens is, to give you a perspective, I did that, I put that motion in. If many of you have read about it, I put that motion in on my birthday, which was last Tuesday. It was not one of my better birthdays, I will tell you that. I got fired by my DC fundraiser before 5 o'clock the next day. And so, I mean, when we talk about a system, and I've been criticized by a number of my colleagues over the timing, the tactic of it. Here's what I want to encourage each one of you to do, though. Continue to let your voice be heard by Barry. Continue to do that. And realize that we've got a couple of critical fights that are coming up.